I attended Oconee Fall Line Technical College, and like many others, I was considered a non-traditional student.
My classes at OFTC have taught me the different aspects of a criminal mind and the way the criminal act.
The term non-traditional career refers to jobs that have traditionally been held by one gender. That would be like males in cosmetology or females in welding.
Anyone can do it, regardless of the gender, and as long as you put your mind to it, you can succeed and achieve all your goals.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk here on TV 35. I'm your host, Pat Brock, and we're here at the beautiful Lawrence Hill Baptist Church down here in Dudley, Georgia, and they're getting ready for an exciting event that's going to be taking place, and we've got to talk with them about it. We've got their pastor with us. How are you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing great. My name is Reverend Gregory Jones. I'm the pastor of Lawrence Hill Baptist Church.
Tell us some things about you, Pastor.
Well, I'm also a deputy sheriff with Bibb County Sheriff Office and been with them 28 years. And I'm excited about being here and being the pastor of this great church.
And we're glad to have you here. And this lady here to our right, of course, she's not a stranger here to Dublin, Lawrence County, Miss Dolly English, who is the chairperson of the church anniversary. How are you, Miss Dolly?
I'm good, and yourself?
Doing very well. Now listen, we want to kind of share with them about your event that's going to take place, but we want them to know a little bit more about Lawrence Hill, the rich history that this church carries, and why we want them to come and take part in your anniversary event. Share with us, Pastor, about Lawrence Hill.
Lawrence Hill, a church with a rich history, like you just said, and certainly we have members who are part of the founding families of this church. When I first came down here 3 years ago, I was excited to know that this church and several other families were founded, and how far it went back. 150 years, and so we're excited about having this celebration, and we want the community to know that we're excited about them supporting this church and this ministry, and we want them to come out and just thank God for the blessings He has given us of being here 150 years.
Amen. And you know, when you're talking about the history, you're talking about so many families that are a part of this. I mean, you know, you can look out in the congregation and, you know, and just see so many different generations. And, you know, I think that it's important that not just my generation, but the younger generations understand about the history and what our history and the church, what that role played.
Right. And I said a lot of times when I'm up in the pulpit, it's a cloud of witnesses watching us. And every time I come to church, I'm looking out in those fields, and I'm reminded of people that was out in those fields, and they were working so hard to see this church and watching us today as we continue to carry on this ministry.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, we walked the grounds, and you kind of showed us the original steps. And then, of course, the baptismal. When you still have those there, I mean, what feeling does it give to you to know that God has placed you in the position to lead the flock of this church?
When I see those items, the baptism, even the well, I'm reminded of the people that came before me, the pastors and the ministries and stuff, and I get encouragement by that, by seeing that, and I constantly remind myself that, hey, you got to continue to keep pushing on. Sometimes it get kind of, you struggle sometimes, but when I see those items in the ministries here at this church, I'm encouraged.
That's right, because there are so many seeds that were planted, and here you are, you're watering, and God is definitely providing that increase. He is. All right, Ms. Dolly, now we want you to share about this event. We know that you didn't just start working on it. We know that anything like this, when you're wanting to plan something that's really special, it takes time and it takes a lot of work. So share with us about it, okay?
Well, I'm very excited, and I'm very excited that they chose me to be the chairperson, because in the process of all of that, I mean, I'm learning the history myself. So the more I dig, the more I want to dig. And I had an opportunity to meet a young fellow named Mr. Ron Levi out of Michigan, which have a Bible that go all the way back to 1848. And as he and I speak, usually 2 to 3 times a week, the more we talk, the more I want to know. So it should be interesting to the people of Lawrence Hill, or even the surrounding county, because it's not only about Lawrence Hill, because the history goes with Bird Hill, Rose Hill, all of the other churches that we fellowship with along the way.
Right.
So it's a big part of the Lothar family, the Stanley family, the Brantley family, the Harbert family. That's why we're trying to encourage everyone to come out and meet this young man, and you'll be able to find out some history about your family that you didn't know about or anything. So I'm excited. We have, first of all, I want to thank Dudley Funeral Home, because they're big supporters of ours, and also All-Star Car Wash, where the owner is Jawan Thomas, financially supporters of this event. We are planning a banquet on April the 28th at 5 o'clock at the old Millville Gymnasium. We've contacted some school teachers, contractors, and we're trying to get everybody, mayors, the sheriff, everybody. We're trying to get everybody involved in it, because it's not all about us. It's about us coming together as a community. And also on May the 5th, Dudley Funeral Home has sponsored a festivity here where they're having a gospel explosion, so they can motivate the anniversary, which is on May the 6th, you know. So it's a lot going on. We got people coming out of Baxley, Valdosta, and different areas to share in with us. So, and what more than to talk about the history of Lawrence Hill Baptist Church.
That's right.
And I would think that, you know, my parents was members here. My mother passed when she was 91, and my father was 77. I would think, what would they be thinking if they was here? You know, if they was here now.
Because you've been here for how many years?
I got 42 years invested with it. 42 years invested, and I'm very young.
You are very young. I thought you were about 43, you know.
I'll accept that.
And so we want to make sure that we give the people the dates. We want them to know how they can get tickets, how they can come and be a part of these great events. So you have several different things going on.
Right. Okay, on April the 28th, the tickets can be purchased from any member of the Lawrence Hill Baptist Church. You can get in contact with the pastor, myself, Mother Rosa English, and just get the word out, and we'll find you. We did put out 150 tickets to celebrate 150 years. And on that festivity day, we have promotional group out of Bax that'll be coming in and rendering music and everything for the event. We have an old time country buffet style meal that's where we're going way back and come.
To Sunday go meet?
Yes. We're going back to Sunday go meeting, and then we coming back to the luxury style. You know how they do things now. We're gonna go back because the theme is bridging the gap from the past to the future. So that's what we're trying to do. And our subtopic going to be Our Rise.
Oh, wow.
Our Rise. That's what the subtopic is. So, and then on, like I said, on the May the 5th, that Saturday at 5 o'clock here at Lawrence Hill, Dudley Funeral Home, along with their choir, have reached out to us and put a festivity together, a musical together to help motivate the anniversary and motivate the activities. And we truly want to thank them for their effort and all the support that they have given us, along with All-Star Car Wash with Jawan Thomas as well.
So you have something on the 28th of April.
Right.
At what time?
It's at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock at Millville. That's the banquet.
Exactly.
$20 for the tickets?
Yes. Right.
And what age limit?
Okay, no age limit, but $20, 10 and under is free.
Okay.
Anything above that is $20. And it is casual, but dressy casual. We also had T-shirts that was made. Our pastor had such a great vision about the T-shirts and all, and I want to wear my T-shirt. Some of them probably don't want to, but I want to wear my T-shirt because I want to show the 150 years, you know, the effort and all, you know.
This is gonna be really nice.
It's gonna be real nice. I thought that it would be befitting to have an event like this. 150 years is a long time, and I wanted Lawrence Hill to put their best foot forward and to show the community, and not just Dudley, but Dublin as well, that we thank God for the blessings He has blessed Lawrence Hill with, and the members itself. Like Dollar has said, you can also get tickets. You can call the church, and certainly we'll get the tickets to you.
Okay.
I'm not too concerned about the 150. If they can come on. I want them to come.
Let them come.
Let them come. We ain't gonna turn anybody back. We want them to come out, and certainly we culminate that Sunday with New Cana Baptist Church with their great pastor, Pastor David Turner. He's gonna close us out for the anniversary. But we're excited. I am. Every time I get up, I'm talking about this 150-year anniversary, and it's gonna be wonderful. I'm so blessed to have Dolly
Is
and
this
her
a workhorse right here?
Oh,
This is right
she's just been a blessing to this ministry, this church, and her sister Mary, and also the committee, the mother of this church, Rosa English, that they just spearheaded this, and it took some of the weight off the pastor to
That's
get
what they
everything
should be
going. It's
doing.
done right, and we thank God for the deacons as well. They anything that we asked, certainly they helped us as well.
And that's a blessing to see so many faithful members. To be able to take the load off of the pastor, and to have a spirit of excellence and a love for what you're doing, you know, because your labor and effort's not in vain. And you're right. If we could, if those people that are in those grave sites that we saw, if they could be the fly on the wall to see how far you all have come and how much you are working so hard to make sure that their dreams were not in vain.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right, it is.
You know, you think about it here in Lawrence here, you know, that somebody was out there plowing those fields and coming over here on Sunday and the church and all of that. And I tell Lawrence here today, we just do the work. God will bring the increase. Just do the work.
That's right.
Somebody gonna come behind us and see the work that we done, but we got to continue on doing the work.
And another thing about history, okay, it's always important. A lot of times younger generations don't want to know their history, but it's important that we know where we've come from, so we'll know where we're at and where we're going. And so I often, when I do research history and I tell it on stage, retell it on stage, I always put myself in the position of where my ancestors were and what their frame of mind was. Because we have it easy compared to what they've had it. Those people that were members of this church, your parents, you know, and now here you are. What else do you want to share with the people of Dublin Lawrence County that, from your heart, about being here, a part of Lawrence Hill, the events that you have coming up, not just the fact that you're working hard to do it, but there's more to it.
Yes. I want to share the fact that history is real important. You got to know who you is in order to know where you're going. Because if you have that dark side in your life and you don't know really how to move forward. But this is an opportunity for those that have those unanswered questions. And I bless God for Mr. Ron Levi. You know, some people be a little afraid of history, but when the history is correct, you got to accept the history. And my heart is excited. I am excited. I am up late at night. Ideas. I'm popping up in the bed late at night writing stuff down.
Wheels on the bus are
that's
turning.
That's right.
They?
I am very excited, and I don't even get upset if nobody else don't get as excited I am, because see, I'm actually in there looking at the history. I'm actually reading the ledgers. And I have ledgers that go all the way back to 1959 for this church alone. And the fact to see that where they paid their tithes or their dues for 50 cents.
Look at that.
You know, back in 1959, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. So it's exciting. It's real exciting. And I just want the community to get involved in it.
And this is the opportunity for you as a community to get involved. I mean, this is a wonderful event. If you know, just sitting here in your congregation in this beautiful sanctuary and just talking to you all, going out to the gravesite, seeing the plantation home, you know, where members of the church started.
That's right.
I mean, it touches my heart. And so this is a perfect opportunity for the community of Dublin Lawrence County to take part in something that's so special for Lawrence Hill Baptist Church and also for our community. That's right. We're going to meet your mother of the church, right?
Oh, yes.
All right, we need to get her just to see what she's been doing all these years. She's
got
ready
some
for
information for you.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Miss Dolly,
Thank you.
for all that you do and how you continue to serve.
Thank you.
At Bank of Dudley, we understand that buying a new home is a time of many decisions, and we're here to help and answer all of your questions that might arise during the mortgage loan process. Our mortgage professionals, Shirley Clements and Sherry Adderhall, have over 75 years of combined mortgage experience, backed by a bank that has served this community since 1905. Call or come by and visit with Sherry or Shirley at our Veterans Boulevard branch, or go online at bankofdudley.com and get started today. Bank of Dudley, creating a custom mortgage experience with competitive rates and terms is what service is all about. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
All right, now we've got the mother of the church joining us. Pastor, how are you?
I am doing fine, and I'm very blessed.
We're so blessed to have you with us. Now, we want you to kind of share with the people out there some things about you and tell us about your history here at Lawrence Hill Baptist Church.
How sweet. Well, I'm a graduate, and I was a teacher for 37 years. Old Millville School, and I taught at East Lawrence Primary School and Elementary School for that 37 consecutive years. And I retired, and I've gone through some things, but I'm still blessed.
And you look wonderful.
Well, thank you.
When you said you were the mother of the church, I was like, And you know, we're talking, you know, Pastor and I were just talking, of course, with your sister-in-law about, you know, just the history of this church, you know. And so share with us about your memories here, and you're still here, and now in the position of being the mother to mother the flock here.
Yes. Well, I must say that when I came here, I came from Bird Hill in 1998. And that was a transition. You know, you have your doubts about that. But after I got here, I felt like I was in the right place. And it's been a joy just being here, being a part of Lawrence Hill Baptist Church. When I came here, I stepped out and I organized the Vacation Bible School. And there was more ministries that I organized as far as the missionary department with the ladies and my little youth department. So we have been doing a wonderful job, and I have really enjoyed everything that I have done. And it's just really been a blessing just be a part of it. And then I joined the choir, and that's one of my passions.
Let me hear it from the pastor here. So, Pastor, you hear her, right?
Right.
She's been doing a lot of stuff. She's an
Lot of
active
stuff.
mother.
Right.
Let's hear from your perspective about mother.
She is a blessing. Certainly, she talked about the different ministries, but the missionary, she constantly has something going on with the missionaries, making sure that we continue to stay busy, going out to the community and certainly the nursing home. This past Christmas, we went over there and had services with the nursing home ministry, and it was a blessing. And also one of her biggest projects is the clothes closet, where we give away clothes to the community, and they're free. They are free. And certainly we have little luncheons and things like that. So the missionary at this church here is constantly busy. And I thank God for her, and she be going, like she said, she had a little bout here and there, but she constantly shows up. And also she encouraged the pastor, because she sits behind me every Sunday.
Oh, Lord, does she preach with you?
She tapped me on the head, let's go, Pastor. And she encouraged me, and I love that, because I know she's behind me and the church, and when I go out to different places and stuff, she just talks to me.
That's good.
And
And not
it helps
necessarily
me.
just behind you physically, but supports you spiritually as well to stand.
It's just a
with you.
blessing and
That's
stuff,
good.
and I talk to her during the week sometime, and ask her different things, and she texts me and stuff.
A texted mother of the
texting
church.
mother of the church, she texts me. See,
Isn't that
I
something?
gotta tell the world, I'm excited.
That's
I'm
right.
blessed
That's
to
right.
have
You
a
are.
mother of the church that looks out for the members of this church.
And that's important. That's very important. And Mother, so getting ready for the 150th anniversary, the banquet and the services, what feelings do you have about that? And speak from your heart about it.
Well, from my heart, I feel like, I'm just praying that it be a blessing. And that everything go as planned, and someone will benefit from this activity, what we're going to do. Because like I was telling them out there in the park, history is a bad thing. Because this generation and the next one coming on, they're going to be lost.
And when you say that, and it's not to, just take anything away, but it's the thing like this where they have different things that they are more privy to, the technology of things, to where not able to really just grasp the importance of your family legacy.
But we need that, though.
We do need
We
that.
need that.
We need someone to be able to continue to tell the stories, to continue to write the books about where we came from.
Right.
Because where we came from, when you talk about history, for the people of, the African Americans, it was a rough history.
It was.
Some of it. And so you all are telling a story here. You're telling the story of where you began. And so, and as they grasp that or take hold to it, we hope the young people take hold to it and that they run with it.
Well, that's my prayer, that they take hold and they get on board and they ride with us.
That's right. That's right. And so, Pastor, we want to let you give any closing remarks that you would like to make sure that the people know about Lawrence Hill Baptist Church, the significance of your 150th anniversary, and to really encourage and admonish the people out there to come and take part of it.
Well, like we had talked about, the 150-year anniversary, certainly we're excited about it, this anniversary. And I'm excited about Lawrence Hill Baptist Church, a church with open door, but more importantly, an open heart. It's a church that you can come in and worship. And we have a segment in our service where if you want to get up and sing or you want to play an instrument, you can do whatever for the kingdom of God. And we're excited about people coming to do that. I tell a story a lot of times when I'm up in the pulpit, but a young lady that plays behind me, Ashley, when I first came to this church, she was just tinkering on the piano, just key at a time. Now she plays. And it's a blessing, because I oftentimes tell the church, we got a generation that's coming behind us that's going to carry Lawrence Hill forward. And we got to prepare them, like my Ephesians 4:12, prepare them for the work of the ministry, for the body of Christ. And that's what we're doing here at Lawrence Hill. We're preparing them, the next generation to come. So the next 150-year anniversary will be a total, be amazed. So I'm excited about Lawrence Hill, and I invite anybody to come out, not just for this anniversary, but for our services. Certainly we have services on the 1st and 3rd and 5th Sunday. 1st and 3rd Sunday at 12 o'clock. Sunday school is at 11. On 5th Sunday, services at 11 o'clock, and Sunday school's at 10. And we have Bible study every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So we're busy here at Lawrence Hill. We are busy here at Lawrence Hill, and that's what we're doing. We're working for the kingdom of God.
Wonderful. Well, we thank you for the work that you're doing, Pastor. Mother, any last words from you?
Yes. I just want to thank and praise God for you.
This has been such a great day.
In this event.
We're glad to be a part of it, and just, you know, for me personally, to be able to walk the grounds, like I said before, and just to hear the stories of the, you know, the ground that we're walking on. That makes me give reverence to every woman, every man that stood here before us. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
All right, so we're going to meet your deacon in a little bit here and let him share a little bit about the history of what we saw. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the pastor here of this great church.
So much.
It's been a pleasure, Pastor. And of course, the working mother,
Praise God.
Mother English. Thank you both.
There are many ways of doing business today.
Hello?
Call centers, mobile apps.
Right away.
But when it comes to what really matters, our way is pretty simple. To be there when you need us most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Orr Insurance in Dublin is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
This church has such a rich history, and who better can talk about the history than the chairman of the Deacon Board himself, Deacon Jones. How are you today, sir?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Deacon, if you would share with the people of Dublin, Lawrence County, let's talk about where you first got your start, and then we'll segue into where you are today, having been a part of this ministry for many, many years.
Joined the church here when I was 5 years old, and that been 65 years ago. I graduated from the Old Millville High School, and I was drafted in the military during the Vietnam War back in 1966. So I spent 20 years in the Air Force. After retiring from the Air Force, I returned back to Lawrence County and come act in the church again. And I did 20 years at Robin Air Force Base as a civil service, and I just retired civil service. So I'm back in the area again.
Back in the area again. Well, we thank you so much for your service and the many years that you've served. And, you know, for you to have been to be a part of a church for so many years, you've seen a lot of things coming and going, a lot of things here. And so talk to us a little bit about the history, the things that you really try to do to preserve the integrity of this church and its surroundings.
Well, main thing, church cemetery, the old Lawrence Hill Church Cemetery. We used to bury there, but over the years we started burying at the Church Cemetery. So there's a few families that still left up at the old Lawrence Hill Cemetery. So we started burying at the Church Cemetery, which is maintained. It's located on the Cook Payne Road of Montrose, Georgia.
And, you know, going out there and seeing how, you know, in one part of the cemetery where you can't even see that there are graves out there, and then to see and actually be able to read the names of some, to see this is someone's family out here, and it goes back to 1800, some of these graves.
Yes, and like I said, we kind of maintain it, and all the graves that had a marking on the grave, so we kind of get headstone installed on the graves if there's a marking. And if there's any family member that looking at this film at this time, I would like them to come forward with some names so we could get some headstone installed on all the graves.
And, you know, the history of, you know, when you see the people out there, I mean, this is generation after generation. These are people that are from this area, and some have ventured off to move away, but there's still some people that are still here. And what feeling does it give for you to try to maintain these grave sites?
Well, the main thing is to not let it grow up, get overgrown, and that it be a decent place where people can come back and identify with the people that buried there. And because we had people to move away from Lawrence County to Chicago, Miami, Florida, Detroit, Michigan, some even out to California. But if they could come back and give us a little history of their grandparents, great-grandparents that buried here, we could sort of give them a headstone if they don't have a headstone. That's the main thing.
And kind of put those pieces together. You know, at the Kurtz Cemetery, we saw a lot of your family out there.
Yes, we have the Jones, Ashley, Watkins, and
some Stanleys are out there.
Stanleys and so forth. And still we have some unmarked graves out there. But like I said, we kind of get headstone on all of them.
And, you know, we even saw the gravesite of the plantation owner, you know, from years and years ago. Just to see that, I mean, for me, I think that it makes you really think, and it really makes you appreciate life and appreciate our ancestors and the ones who have stood the test of time before us for us to be able to have what we have today. Would you say so?
Yes, but the main thing we're saying, you know, like, we want to identify all the graves that there, if possible.
That's right. Well, we thank you so much for your tireless efforts that you do here at Lawrence Hill, the work that you're doing in the cemeteries, the work that you have done throughout your life to benefit others. We thank you for that, Deacon.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the chairman of the Deacon Board here at Lawrence Hill, Deacon Jones.